Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Symphogear GX, episode 11. 11? 11. Last week we've seen episode 10, so today has to be 11 indeed. And, to be honest, it is only, well, I don't know if it's only now that shit hits the fan, but it's like mostly now. Now we are fully aware of the stakes, we're fully aware of what's been happening throughout the entire season, because this entire season is the most, so far, the most hard to understand, the most unexplained, the most mysterious, the most secretive. Usually Symphogear is fairly decent about like explaining things as we go, but in case of GX, they left all of the reveals, well, not all of them, most of the reveals, until the very end. It was only an episode like what, 9 or 8 or something thereabouts that we've learned about the ley lines and the shrines that are protecting them, right? And because we were wondering what was the deal with one of the Autoscorers destroying that random shrine, right? Turns out it might have not been as random as we all thought. We were left wondering all this time, what's the deal with the Autoscorers? Why are they so happy about being destroyed? And right, all those things. And why are they? Why would they always withdraw when the song wasn't strong enough, or whatever it was they said? Now it turns out, now we finally get an explanation, right? Carol needed the songs, and not just any songs, the cursed songs of Dine's life, in order to power up the chateau. And it came to light that Carol was essentially playing seven-dimensional chess all this time. The fact that Elf9 was set free, was able to run away and steal a piece of Dine's life, it was no mistake. It wasn't an oversight on Carol's part. Carol could have destroyed Elf9 if she wanted to. She could have wiped her memory, she could have taken her body as her own, right? All those things could have happened, and yet she set Elf9 free. And that was for a reason, so that Elf9 can steal the piece of Dine's life and give it to the people from the Disaster Squad, and so they can create the Ignite relics, the cursed relics with cursed songs, and later at the end Carol can harvest those accursed tunes. So everything's connected, everything's been a plan all along. The one and only thing that seems to not be going according to Carol's plan is the presence of Ver, although it is so far, it is like in alongside her plans, right? Ver is an asset to her. I wonder for how long it's gonna be the case, because as I mentioned in the previous episode, I have a strong suspicion that Ver's hero complex will simply not allow him to destroy the world. So that's going to be very interesting. What else? What else? What else? I think that's about it as far as like the big reveals and the big events of the previous episode go. We of course ended up with the Kaiju little sister rising from the depths below and destroying the naval base, the submarine of the Disaster Squad. Of course, we all know that everybody's going to survive, because there's like, what, 2 or 3 more seasons of Symphogear left, so right, there's not really, I mean, right now there isn't really much suspense, but back in the days when it was airing, I can easily see this being a very shocking event. But it's not the first base they've lost, so I'm assuming they're gonna get another one, maybe a quadcopter or something, right? They had a stationary underground base, now they have an underwater base. Maybe time for a flying. It could be useful, right? FIS, Maria and her goons proved that a flying base is really, really cool. Really, really good asset to have because they can go anywhere they want. Anything else? Right, Hibiki is at a hospital while all of that transpires. And I'm assuming she's gonna learn of the disaster that happened on the sea and she's gonna go out to help. Because it's Hibiki. Because, of course, Hibiki will want to help. And besides that, right, the previous episode was also a character episode for Chris, and I mean, I'm saying character episode for Chris. She, as every character episode in this season seems to be, she took a nosedive and then came back to status quo. So it's kind of hard to call it a character episode. A moment when she faltered and then righted herself. That would be more like it, but I'm not gonna talk too much about it because it's like the 7th fucking time it happened this season, so we all know the drill by now. What's gonna happen today? Well, we're probably gonna fight the kaiju. How are we gonna fight the kaiju? I have no clue. Probably Hibiki, probably power of friendship, maybe some power of love, maybe Dine's life song, maybe not, because they've learned that Dine's life songs are what Carol wants, so they probably won't use it. Although the Autoscorers have all they need, so is there any point of withholding the power of Dine's life now? I don't know. I don't know. Anything can happen, really. We still don't know what exactly Carol's plan is. Like, we know vaguely that she has that chateau and she wants to use it to dissolve the world. But then there's the photosphere. What is chateau really? Is it like connected to the ley lines and the ley lines are gonna create a bubble around the planet? Or what's the deal there, right? We don't know the details. We don't know where to punch to stop Carol's plans, essentially what I'm trying to say. Because all this time, the plans in the previous seasons had very clear weak points, right? If you kill Ryoko, the plan is bust. If you kill Ver, the plan is bust. Now, I don't think even Carol's death would stop the motions. I think she has contingency plan upon contingency plan. One of them being, of course, just getting another body. So, yeah, it ain't gonna be that easy. I only hope we're not gonna go through it with Toku no Jutsu, but we might, because there's also the whole theme throughout the season of like fathers, right? Carol's father, Hibiki's father, Tsubasa's father. We still don't know what the deal with Carol's father is, really. Why Elf9 has those positive memories, and she knows that their father wanted to explore the world and marvel at its beauty and whatnot, and not destroy it. But Carol doesn't have those memories. She only knows destroy. There's some tomfuckery going on there. Hopefully, we're gonna find some answers. And to do that, though, you're gonna need your subs, as always. I'm gonna need my sound, again, as always. And I'm gonna ask you for support on Patreon Throne, links in the description. On Patreon you can get early access to Symphogear, Madoka Magica, stuff like that. Or if you don't want to spend any money, you can share my content, spread the word. The word of mouth really does help a lot the growth of a channel. And with that out of the way, we can start watching episode 11 of Symphogear GX in 3, 2, 1, go. Right, last time Dragon Ball Z. Okay, so they managed to, like, run away or something in an emergency capsule. A bow? Well, that's new. We haven't really seen anybody use a bow, did we? All of the weapons were mostly just melee. except I guess maybe Shirabe and her bassos and Chris's guns. But to use a bow, that's a first. I highly doubt you managed to destroy the kaiju in one shot, though. She's bleeding? Oh, no. I thought we were gonna go with the trope of, like, half of her face being covered in blood. Well, get to it then. That's not how first aid works. Hmm. Theory time. We know that Carol has spare bodies. Are they gonna give Elf9 a spare body? Just a random thought that came to me. With Elf9 being unconscious, maybe comatose or something. It's a possibility, theoretically. So why not? Not Carol. Elf9 is given a new body. Maybe merges with Carol. That's another thought. With perhaps Elf9 being the dominant personality that would override Carol's. I don't mean like completely override, but like Carol is enemy, Elf9 is friend. When they merge, they become friends. That's essentially what I meant. They are whole again. They have a whole set of memories, and decide to stay with the Disaster Squad. Yeah, bad idea, Hibiki. I mean, Hibiki might be fine, but no, I don't think so. He just needs a roof over his head. Yeah, and he wants someone to make him food, to prepare a bath for him, to do the laundry. That's what he wants. And he doesn't want to put any effort towards that. Well, get bent then. Get double bent. Yeah, he's not a brave man, is he? I mean, at least in this case, it seems to be. Is it gonna be an eye-opening moment, or is it gonna be a nothing moment? Oh, the reality is falling apart! You should be used to it by now, Hibiki. Is that the chateau? It does look like a chateau, right? Okay, so apparently Ver can also control the chateau for some reason. Right, so that means she doesn't need the tablet. Yeah, that wasn't the deal! I wanted to save the world, I wanted to be a hero! The fuck kind of a hero would I be if I destroyed the world? She sounds like Tanya now. At the end of the season. Ah, Kami-sama! Moment. I mean, you kinda twisted his intentions, though. Indeed! So go a step further. Destroy reality itself! Yep. Lap pillow. The best kind of a CPR. Well, not CPR, first aid. Hey, successful! So, did the job. Engage and do what exactly? You're fighting a building. Yeah. Maybe he doesn't deserve a second chance after all. Okay. So Vary's gonna fight Carol. Or at least he's gonna try to oppose her. And die. Doesn't matter what happens now. Oh, okay. He bailed at the last moment. I'm willing to bet he's gonna survive. Unless you get a heart attack first. Yeah, that's not something you can expect of him. Yes. Who else? Okay, so the Alkanoids have a higher purpose than just being goons. That's cool. I mean, to be fair to Carol, Hibiki was whining endlessly about how she cannot fight. What you gonna do with your bare hands, Biki? Okay, he did something. Wow. Genuinely more than I expected of him. Okay, now he ran. That's what I expected. This is precisely what I expected. Yeah. No, it's not on her to fix the family. It's on you, my dude. Oh, okay, redemption arc. Well, I wanted to say redemption arc, but it's like redemption minute. 5 minutes of redemption. That's not a rock. That's a relic. Henshin? Or are we skipping that? I guess we're skipping the Henshin. We know that the Symphogear protection thing kicks in even before the full Henshin is done. Because once Hibiki was able to, like, punch Noise, like, split second before she Henshined. Although that was when she had the relic inside of her, so... I don't know if it's a Symphogear mechanic or was it the mechanic of her shard. He's been what? I mean, like, I get that Hibiki is the Genki one and always positive and whatnot, but... Dude fucked off to the other end of Japan. He's not been looking after you, my girl. You're not gonna record the footage? Dine's lifetime? Or maybe not. I guess she still has a little bit inside of her. A whole lot inside of her, actually. There we go. How did that not kill her? From what I gather, unless she's able to protect herself with alchemy, Carol is pretty fucking frail. No, it's not him. What's that? Oh, hello, Tsubasa. I love her pose. Fuck you gonna do now? Yeah, the whole gang is here. Including Ogawa. You will, probably. Okay, Carol Henshin. Sorry, something's in my throat. No hexagons. I mean, hexagons in the background, but no hexagons during the henshin itself. I guess because it's a relic and not a Symphogear. Like, it's something that you actually wear and not a weapon turned into armor. Every time something happens, Genjuurou stands up and the camera shots him from below. It's such an iconic scene. The genocide song. It's your power. I'm assuming, mostly due to the colors of the lyrics, that it's based on like the songs that the Autoscorers recorded, maybe. Or it's genuinely just her suicide song, except she's able to burn her memories instead of burning her life, or something like that. Or it's the chateau that's powering her up. Beam to the ground. Beam to the ground. Indeed. Spreading along the ley lines. Yep. Ley lines. So the photosphere is like inside of the Earth, kind of like inhabiting the same space in a parallel dimension or something like that, or beneath the Earth's crust, or it's simply immaterial. That's also a possibility. Oh, that's surprising. Counting on you. Yeah, we will stop it. You're not alone, Maria. You have friends. Oh, you underestimate the power of friendship in anime, my girl. Power of friendship in anime can do anything. That's a lot of noise. Okay. Credits. Credits. Is Hibiki gonna summon her armed gear now? Or what's she gonna do? Okay. A little bit of a cliffhanger. That's not particularly bad, honestly. I'm gonna have to check one thing after we're done with it and after we're done with the discussion. I'm gonna have to check out the writer for this season, if they're any different than the writer for seasons past. Because something doesn't sit quite well with me when it comes to writing characters. Like, throughout this season, character arcs were condensed to like 5 minutes within a single episode. And the same happened with Hibiki's father. Just like that. 180. Hmm. Oh, after credits. What? Oh! Oh! Hello? What you doing here? Okay. Okay. Damn. That's the true cliffhanger of this episode, isn't it? Ah. Okay, okay, okay. I'm liking where it's going. I'm liking where it's going. How about we go through this episode again? Shall we? Yes, we shall. Stupid question. A good thing they had like an ejection pod, and that they managed to get everybody there in time. Cool, good thinking. This is kind of anticlimactic. Actually, super fucking anticlimactic. This big sister, this kaiju monster, was teased throughout the season. Lurking somewhere in the depths, lurking in the shadows. We only see the glimpse, we only see the outline, the silhouette. What's that? Oh, it's huge, it's gonna be dangerous, and whatnot. Chris pops up, shoots an arrow, done. Very anticlimactic. Like, probably the most anticlimactic scene in all of Symphogear I've seen so far. There hasn't been many anticlimactic scenes, granted, but this is like this scene, nothing, 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 nothing. Another somewhat disappointing scene that might have happened in the past. This is like really anticlimactic. I was expecting some fight. Also, the whole thing is kinda inconsequential, right? Because the sister destroyed the headquarters, but nothing besides that happened. Like, Elf9 reiterated that I'm not being controlled, but ultimately, the destruction of the HQ doesn't matter because they saved the most important part of it. Nobody died, nobody was injured, nothing was lost. It's not like this kaiju tied Chris into battle so that she couldn't have joined the rest later. It's not that Elf9 fell unconscious and they desperately needed their help. It's not like Genjuurou was injured and someone else needed to take the helm, right? Or even, I don't know, oh no, our reserves of linker were in the part of the HQ that got destroyed. What are we gonna do about it, right? Nothing. The kaiju just appeared, made them downsize to a smaller HQ, and then fucked off. So it's not only disappointing and underwhelming because of how quickly the kaiju was dispatched, but also because its appearance was completely meaningless, really. Completely and utterly meaningless. You should take the first step yourself. Indeed, he should. But he's not gonna, because he's a fucking coward. Yeah, he's having some sort of an epiphany of, oh, look, a happy family. Maybe we could be a happy family as well. And here comes the chateau. Right, his change, I guess, believable. Because it's very often that people change only when shit really hits the fan. When they really and truly believe that they can lose whatever they have left, when they hit the all-time low, that's when they start climbing up. But it all really does feel so quick and so fast and so abrupt. Like, in those moments, right here, right now, he was ready to scam Hibiki out of dinner again. And he was ready to put all the responsibility for mending the family on Hibiki again. And run away. But then a sudden change, a sudden bout of heroism. I don't know, maybe people can change this quickly, but honestly, I don't buy it. I'm sorry. I can suspend my disbelief into believing, into like seeing this floating castle in the sky, but I can't suspend my disbelief in Hibiki's father changing this easily. Yeah, Chateau is in automatic mode, as I thought. That's what they're gonna do, so that even if Carol dies, even if Ver dies, show goes on. Now I can finally shatter the world into pieces. Yeah, you didn't even ask for what the plan is. So I love how just everybody on board of the Chateau is completely mad now. Ver is mad, that needs no explaining. Then Carol goes full yandere. And of course, Ver has bigger dreams. Destroying the world, understanding the world. Where's the heroism in that? If you want to understand the world, to reshape it, to be a utopia, that's an ambition. Right? Restart this world, create Adam, create Eve, and start again. Right? Reshape this planet, seed it with life, and watch evolution and direct evolution into where you want it for the ultimate benefit of humanity. That's a plan. That's a grand scheme that I, a hero of people, a hero of the world, can get behind. You just want understanding? What's that gonna give you? I like it. I like that they have the disagreement here. I honestly thought that the reason will be different. That Ver is going to oppose the plan of destroying the world because he wants to save the world, but that's fine as well. Honestly, it's cool. It fits his personality. It fits Carol's personality. I don't mind it whatsoever. Yeah, and now Elf9 is also back up. So the kaiju attack ultimately did nothing to anybody or anything. I guess it was only like a way to have them create a different HQ next season. That's probably what's gonna happen. And yeah, end of the world is coming, and her father is only thinking about taking some video, uploading it to YouTube, slapping ads on it, and making bank. And then just sudden 180 into a hero. Transcend the bounds of good and evil, take control of the chateau. Side character like you could never become a hero. That's deliciously meta. That's not how you should use a musical instrument. I love it. And Ver falls down, and of course he's gonna be fine. Because, I mean, I'm assuming he's gonna be fine. I mean, what? Palpatine fell into a duct of some starship or something, and he was back, so I fully believe that Ver is gonna be back as well. Maybe some of his torso is gonna be taken over by the Nephilim to save him from dying, because I mean Ver is basically a host for the Nephilim now, so Nephilim wouldn't want the host to die. Maybe something like that. I don't know. I wonder if Ver maybe may come back in the future, in unspecified future, as a good and proper villain. Maybe like completely turned into a monster. That'd be interesting. To reuse a villain but a different form. I shall take up the mission my father entrusted me and take on the world. Yeah, so it's essentially misunderstanding. I'm not sure how much of a fan of that I am, to be perfectly honest with you. That all of it just stems from a complete and utter misunderstanding of experience the world, as in walk around the world, see the fjords of Norway, see the deserts of Egypt, see the like dive into Baikal, see the penguins, see the polar bears, witness the geysers in North America, stuff like that. And Elf9, Carol just took it as dissolve the world and study it. It's a big leap. Like, I don't know, maybe it works better in Japanese, in original. Maybe there's some ambiguity in the words there. Maybe the word for, like, dissolve and dissect is the same as the word for study or experience. Maybe. I don't know Japanese, so that might be the case. But it's one hell of a leap to make. Could be that it's because Carol's memories are slowly being eradicated, but she didn't start eradicating those memories right from the get-go, right? Like, right when her father died, that's when she must have set off on the path of dissolving the world. Because her using up her memories was for the sole purpose of dissolving the world. So if that wasn't her plan initially, then why would she use her memories? Yeah, saved Hibiki. But then he's running away because of course he is. Because of course he is. Because they are desperately trying to make him redeemable, but he's not easily redeemable. He's not like one episode redeemable. He's like a season redeemable. Next season, if like next season we start with this dude trying to make amends, and we end up with him fully redeemed at the end of the season, cool. Perfect. I'm perfectly fine with it. One episode redemption, no, doesn't work. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. I hope they're not gonna do something like completely fucking stupid, like an after credits scene in the finale when Hibiki, her mother, her grandmother, and her father are making one happy family again. I swear to fucking God if they do that. They better not. They better not. Don't worry, I'll be fine. A sudden bout of... Okay. That's a perfect frame. This is a... his tiny wiggly arm. The magic of in-betweens. The magic of in-betweens. Sudden bout of courage in him, sudden bout of craftiness, right? I don't know if it was his plan, but it seems like it might have been. Throw some rocks and miss, and then throw the relic and miss, so that Carol pays it no mind because, oh, it's just another rock he throws and he's gonna miss, but haha, this is a relic. And indeed, it is a relic. Every time I was on the verge of giving up, your words were what kept me going. You've always been looking out for me. I understand what Hibiki is saying here. I understand that she's the type to be super optimistic and always look at the bright side, and even like she forgave Fine Ryoko. She wanted to bring her to the side of good. She forgave Maria and Kirika and Shirabe and took them in. If Carol decided to turn a new leaf, Hibiki would be the first one to shake her hand. If whoever was there to make amends, if fucking Hitler raised from the grave and said, I'm sorry for killing Jews, Hibiki would embrace him and say, there, it's all good now, right? That's the type of a person Hibiki is. So I understand what's going on there from like her perspective. But I disagree with it on a visceral, guttural, primal level. Is what I'm trying to say. I wholeheartedly disagree with Hibiki's take of you've always been looking out for me. He wasn't there for you, Hibiki, when you were in the hospital. He wasn't there for you, Hibiki, to comfort you after you've been going through all this shit at school. His words were there, but words are meaningless, like completely and utterly meaningless. They're just funny sounds that our brains turn into meanings. So, yeah. That's a very fast redemption arc, very fast change. I'm not a fan of it. And it seems to be like the running theme of this season. Fast, mostly unwarranted change. Except in case of Hibiki's father, it's from bad to good. And in case of every other character, it was from good to bad to good again in the span of like 5 minutes. I think the only character that actually went through a good and proper change, sorry, two characters that went through a good and proper change from some depths of depression into turning a brand new leaf and believing in themselves and gaining new strength and whatnot. Tsubasa and Maria. Those two are the only ones who actually experienced some change, who actually changed the status quo, who actually grew. Everybody else forgot their growth throughout the previous seasons and then suddenly remembered it. That's the change everybody else experienced. It was Hibiki indeed. I did nothing but run away. But you stood your ground. Yeah, you did nothing but run away. Ass shots. Is it gonna get into focus? Yeah, it's gonna get into focus. Of course it's gonna go into focus. Why would an ass shot in Symphogear not be in focus? Of course, Hibiki wasn't quite done. I honestly thought she's gonna reach for Dine's life, but apparently there is no need. And this didn't kill Elf9. Carol. How? Like, throughout the past episodes, she was always on the verge of getting a heart attack. And now a shot in solar plexus that created a wave of pure energy beam did nothing to her? She wasn't even protecting herself with alchemy, with any shields or any strengthening magic or what have you. Very weird. And yeah, the whole gang is here. Henshin, Henshin, Henshin. This waveform, phonic gain. Yes. That's kind of how it works. Like, why I'm mentioning it? Because they say here, but this waveform. And my thought was, okay, what's wrong with this waveform? Is it a combination of all the other waveforms? Is it a combination of Dance Life waveforms? Is it like unprecedented waveform? What's wrong with it? What's special about it? Phonic gain. So, like every Auwachen waveform, because every Auwachen waveform produces phonic gain, so cool, I guess. Another moment that's kind of like maybe not disappointing, maybe not underwhelming, but got me hyped there for a moment. Like, right, what's so special? What are we gonna learn? Did she like implant all those songs that Autoscorers recorded into herself, or what the fuck's going on? But no, it's just an Auwachen waveform that produces phonic gain. Cool. Genocide and genocide. What a beautiful song you're singing, Carol. The world shall be shattered by this love song. I vowed to kill the future and turn that weak smile, never turning back. Is there anything alchemy can't do? Alchemy can't give you friendship. Friendship power is gonna save the day. And apparently it's a superb song, which is interesting because it implies that maybe thanks to the use of alchemy, should Elf9 stay with them, perhaps they could make use of superb songs in a bigger capacity without the risk of burning out their lives. On one hand, it would be cool, it would be interesting. We already did have that mechanic when Hibiki was part relic herself, because she was able to shoulder all the strain on herself, on her own body. So we did have that mechanic of being able to use suicide songs pretty much willy-nilly. We no longer have it. Getting it back would be, on one hand, interesting. On the other, it would create a situation where if they use suicide songs, then everything gets vaporized. And if they don't use suicide songs, then why the hell not? Why are they not using them? So maybe better if they don't make suicide songs an actual like permanent thing, unless in future seasons we meet an enemy that can withstand the power of them and they actually have to fight with their suicide songs and their suicide forms to stand a chance, which would be quite a big boost in power levels. It might even happen in this season, honestly, that they might have to use their suicide songs. I don't think they use them in this season yet. So that would be a chance to do that. But I would like to see something like, I don't know, maybe introducing something that makes using them a little safer, right? Some sort of a safeguard or something like that. That would be a nice middle ground. And yeah, the chateau is resonating with her. I like the shapes on top of the chateau. They're like the holes in a violin. They have this shape. I just noticed it. Tuning for fork resonating with her power. And it follows the ley lines. And it apparently activates the photosphere. We still have no clue what the fuck the photosphere is. Like, we have a vague knowledge of sphere of light. Cool, but what does it do? How does it work? Who made it? Nothing. Too bad. If you'd only had an armed gear, you might have reached me. Two ways this can be a Chekhov's gun. One, Hibiki actually gains her armed gear for the first time. Two, Hibiki proves that she doesn't need an armed gear. Hibiki proves that her fists are enough of an armed gear for her. I'll stab that huge machine. Yeah, we're entering just a little bit. Like Maria is like not regressing, but going towards her old ways a little bit again. The old ways of like trying to repent, trying to fix things by herself, right? I'm the only one who should suffer. I'm the only one who should do that. But no, now she has friends. And she's smiling. She accepts it. She remembers that, oh, sorry, okay, yeah, I forgot for a moment, but thanks for reminding me. Yeah, I have friends. We have friendship. Let's do it together. Fuck yeah. Friendship power. I like it. I like it wouldn't have as much of an impact if they right from the get-go went there, because it would be like, okay, they're splitting up the team. 3 are staying fighting Carol, 3 are going to disable the chateau. Makes sense. But with Maria going first, and then Kirika and Shirabe joining her, it like reinforces the fact that Maria really did grow. That she really now understands friendship and partnership and being a part of a group. It's a very small change in the order of events, essentially, and it has very like big meaning. I like it. Honestly, in this season, Maria and Tsubasa were probably the only characters that were handled well. If I'm to be like maybe a little bit exaggerating, but honestly, friendship won't help you get past the chateau's defenses. Just you fucking watch. You don't know the power of friendship. Vital signs of the other 3 are critical. Apparently, they were just defeated just like that, off screen. Not a fan of things happening off screen, but I guess I can't really expect much more from GX. Sorry. Like, it's not like the worst season of any anime that I've ever seen, but compared to previous seasons of Symphogear, this one is like ever so slightly weaker. And they were defeated off screen as well by, I don't know, was it Mother that defeated them? Or was it someone that defeated them and Mother came here to save them? I don't know, that's unclear. Is it Mother? Is it just a husk of her revived with alchemy? I mean, the fact that she's that she has her back turned to them. On one hand, it could mean kind of a dismissal of, okay, job's done, they're out cold, I can turn my back to them, doesn't matter. Or it could actually show us that she defended them from something. What would that something be? I don't know, but something. And I love her transforming wheelchair. I just love it. It's a wheelchair that turns into a fucking Gundam. Why not? Honestly, why not? It's Symphogear. Everything's allowed. Oh, right. I forgot. One thing I wanted to check out, right? I wanted to check out the writer for Symphogear GX. Real quick. My anime list. GX, and I also want G. And I also want the first season. Writer for GX. Let's see. Maybe I'm just gonna compare staff in general. Director remains the same. Right? Close. First season was Tatsufumi Ito. Second and third was Katsumi Ono. So different directors. Writer. Theme song, music, chief animator. Script. Akifumi Kaneko for G. Akifumi Kaneko for GX. Akifumi Kaneko for the first season. That's weird. That's weird because I don't know why I even turned that scene on. That's weird because it does seem like something changed in GX. Something regarding writing, something regarding characters in particular. Maybe what changed is how big the roster of characters is now. That might be it. Because when it was just Tsubasa, Hibiki, and maybe Chris, we had like 3 characters. You could easily give each of them 2 or 3 episodes for character growth. Now that you have 6 of them, if you give each 2 episodes of character growth, that's 12 episodes. That's a season, that's a core. So you have to limit yourself to 1 character per episode. In which case, you gotta ask, why give some of those characters their dedicated episodes in the first place? Tsubasa, as I mentioned many a time already, Tsubasa did benefit from her own episode. Maria did benefit from her own episode. Shirabe and Kirika, they didn't. They went from, we love each other, we hate each other, we love each other. Inconsequential. Chris went from, I'm a part of the team. I'm a loner. I'm a part of the team. Inconsequential. Hibiki went from I want to protect everybody. I can't protect everybody. I want to protect everybody. Inconsequential. Only really Maria and Tsubasa went through some actual growth. Did we really need to spend time, maybe not destroying all those characters, but making them forget their lessons so far and having them relearn them? Did we really need that? I don't think so. I still think that something happened. Maybe one of the sub-directors changed. Maybe one of the subscript writers changed. Maybe something else changed entirely that made them make the decision to go about this season this way and not another. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still very much enjoying this season. I love the introduction of alchemy. I love Carol. I love how much mystery is there in this season. I do love some additional bigger world building, bigger scale, power ups. All that stuff is great. All that stuff is amazing. I absolutely love it. But I don't love their poor attempts at giving characters growth. Everybody besides Tsubasa and Maria had like a Wish version of character growth episode. Everything else about those episodes was cool, was great. Actually progressed the story and gave us some new world building and stuff like that, right? But the moment the sub arc of character growth, mostly just inconsequential. That's like the word I'm using the most. And in this episode, it was really exacerbated by the fact that the destruction of the HQ was also inconsequential. It's kind of like, and I might be wrong here. It's kind of like in season 1 and in season 2 when they didn't know yet whether or not the next season is gonna be greenlit. They weren't afraid of taking chances. They weren't afraid of changing the status quo. Because now that I don't know if when GX was airing, did they already know that the next season is a go, or were they still unsure? I'm not certain about that, but it feels like at this point they knew there's gonna be like 3 more seasons they're gonna be given, and we can't really change status quo too much. We can't really like kill off a character because we're gonna have to start with the same characters in the next season. Uh, many media kind of suffer this issue of constantly after each season resetting status quo, never growing, never progressing. Now I'm not saying that this is what's happening, but it reminds me of that. Of for some reason, Chris isn't allowed to grow. Kirika and Shirabe aren't allowed to grow. Hibiki isn't allowed to grow. I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. Everything else is great about this season. Absolutely, as I mentioned. It's just the characters and their arcs that don't sit well with me. Maybe not so much characters. Characters I do like. I mean, those are the same old characters that I've loved since episode 1 of season 1. They haven't changed for the worse. It's just the moments they were given were useless. About this episode in particular, I like the stakes. I really do like the stakes. That's another thing that I keep mentioning. But season 1 and season 2 did have some stakes, but ultimately we had an understanding of what's going on, and there usually was a bright red target saying punch here to solve the issue. And if Hibiki punched there, the issue was solved, right? Punch the moon to stop it. Punch there to stop him, right? Very simple, very visible solutions. In this case, stakes are much, much higher. If you kill the Autoscorers, that's what they want. If you kill Carol, she can resurrect. If you kill Carol now, doesn't matter, the plan has been set in motion. If you kill Ver, doesn't matter, that's what Carol wanted to do anyway. If you destroy the chateau, who's to say that the photosphere isn't going to just work on its own? If you destroy the photosphere, well, how do you destroy something immaterial on a planetary scale? Right? There's a lot of danger, a lot of stakes. For the first time, I'm actually maybe not afraid for them, maybe not questioning whether they're gonna be able to do that or not, because I know that they're gonna be able to do that, like intellectually, so to speak, right? I know that they will solve the issue. But deep inside, I can't find a way how they could do that. And deep inside, I am afraid for them. Deep inside, I wonder if they're gonna manage. And that's the first time something like this happens since I've started watching Symphogear. So again, everything about this season is great, is amazing, is fresh, actually evokes some emotions, some uncertainty, some dose of fear. It's an unknown enemy, it's an unknown force, unknown magic. How the fuck do we fight it? Right? And I love it. I love the suspense. It's just the character growth moments that aren't quite up to snuff. Anything else that I need to say? I don't think so. I don't think so. You guys, maybe you have something to say in the comments or on the Discord if it's spoilers. Tell me, what did you think of this episode, of my reaction, my theories, my opinion of like the character growth moments? Do you also see it as an issue, or is it a non-issue to you? Do you love different points about this season so far, or do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Like, I'm not entrenched in my belief that this is bad, this is good. So change my mind, right? I don't have a table with a poster, but change my mind in the comments below or on the Discord. In the comments, don't leave spoilers, please, I beg of you. I don't want to be spoiled, and you don't want me to be spoiled either. But if you do have spoilers, Discord here, link in the description. Symphogear channel, you can go there, use the spoiler tags, and talk spoilers freely at your convenience. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases of not only Symphogear but also Madoka Magica, Ruby Ice Queendom, Overlord Season 4, Yofukashi no Uta, and Hataraku Mao-sama Season 2, and I also play some games sometimes. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or Throne. Links in the description. On Patreon for $10 a month, you get early access to non-seasonals like Symphogear, like Madoka Magica. For just $1, you get a role on the Discord, and you also get a place in the credits that you're gonna see very shortly. On Throne, you can pitch in towards my purchase of some new gear, like a new camera, new lighting, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, share my content, spread the word, copy the link to this video and send it to some Symphogear Discord so that other people might watch it. Or maybe if there's a Let's Watch on Reddit, then say, hey, there's that dude who watches it, and maybe check him out. It really helps, like, genuinely. My channel grew so much only because some people who were huge fanatics of Symphogear, started sharing my content. And I'm forever grateful to them. And you can be one of those heroes if you want. You can be like Ver, except not on a humanity scale, but on the scale of my channel. But still, something. Anything else? No, that's it. yeah, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's the credits I mentioned. You can be here if only you so desire.